Welcome to July, Virgo. We are going to get right into what you can expect this month of July. So, we start the month off with a nice sextile. We have the sun in Cancer. The green asterisk is representing the sun right now. And then we have Uranus in Taurus. So they are in a sextile. So you are going to start the month off welcoming new ideas related to networking. You're going to be welcoming ideas related to maybe higher education, related to other cultures, related to traveling overseas. So you are going to be thinking on a broad scale. This is how you're starting the month off, okay? So the energy of when the sun is in a sextile to Uranus, it is an energy where you are welcoming new ideas. Okay, so that's how you start the month off. Now on the 6th, we have a square. We have Mercury in a square to Neptune in Pisces. Okay, we have Mercury here, and then we have Neptune in Pisces over here, and they're in a square. So let's talk about the energy of when Mercury is in a square to Neptune. When Mercury is in a square to Neptune, it creates an energy of confusion. You might find yourself lying about something. You might witness other people lying about something. And it can be a case where you just really, you don't outright lie, but you might avoid telling the whole truth when Mercury is in a square to Neptune. Okay, so this is not a good energy for entering into contracts. So if there's something that you're thinking about, maybe getting into a contract to related to your career, um, on the 6th, this is really not a great time to enter into any contract because of the element of confusion that is that represents this energy. So for you, you might find yourself lying to your partner about something, or you might find yourself lying to your place of employment about something. Okay, so you might use your partner to lie about something to your job, or you might use your job to lie about your partner about something. That is the energy of this square that's happening for Virgo rising. Okay, so an example is you might lie to your partner and tell your partner that you have to work late. Meanwhile, you are off doing something else after work. And it could be just you might be doing something simple, like maybe you just want to go and watch a movie by yourself and you don't want to let your partner know. And you will use your job as the excuse as to why you're not coming home at the normal time. Something like that is going to manifest itself related to this aspect. And this is the aspect of Mercury in a square to Neptune. Okay, so that is on the 6th. So let's move on to the next week, because this next week we have Mercury moving into Cancer. And for you, Mercury is moving into Cancer in your area of life that deals with friends, networking, and technology. So once Mercury moves into Cancer, you'll find yourself thinking more about your friends, thinking more about networking, and so on. Okay, now on the 12th, we have a nice trine. We have Mercury in Cancer in a trine to Jupiter in Pisces. So all month long, Neptune is in Pisces, okay? Um, but Jupiter is going to be in Pisces until the 29th of this month. And then Jupiter moves into Aquarius on the 29th. So at this point, what we're looking at right now, we're looking at Mercury in Cancer. So let's move the green asterisk over here to represent Mercury. Mercury in Cancer is going to be in a trine to Jupiter in Pisces, and Jupiter wants to expand wherever he's located. So one thing to mention about trines are 99.9% of the time in the same element. Okay, so you can see here, Mercury is in Cancer. Cancer is a water element. And then you have Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces, and Pisces is a water element. Okay, and so this is a nice trine going on for Virgo rising. Under this aspect, you will find yourself being very open-minded. So related to partnerships and friends and networking and contracts, you will find yourself making plans for the future, and you will find yourself being very open-minded around this time. Okay, so that's a good energy for you. Now, on the 13th, we have Venus and Venus and Mars in Leo on the 13th. So they are both going to be here in your area of life dealing with spirituality and behind the scenes things. So that's going to be a good energy. So you're going to feel very balanced related to your spiritual journey. You're going to feel balance between what you do behind the scenes and what you reveal to others. It's going to be a nice energy for a lot of Virgo risings. All right, so that's on the 13th. Now, on the 15th, we have another trine. We have a trine between the Sun in Cancer. So let's go ahead and put the Sun in Cancer. The Sun in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces. So again, you can see here, we have Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces at this point in the month. So there's going to be nice energy going on between your friends, your partners, how you network, who you network with, your interaction with technology. That's going to be a great energy going on for you. Okay. Now, this is an energy where you will want to get down to the bottom of everything. And it is a very psychic day for a lot of people. Now, moving on to the 17th, we have an opposition. We have the Sun in Cancer, and it is in an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So let's move this over here to represent Pluto. So there's going to be an opposition between your creative projects and the way you network, maybe between your friends and your romantic encounters. So there's going to be a bit of a struggle going on in the areas of your life where you see the asterisks placed right there. So you just take a look at that. And around, this is happening on the 17th of the month. Now remember, don't get caught up on exact dates in astrology, because you can very well feel the energy of these aspects before the actual date. You can feel them before the date, on the date, and even after the date. Okay, so just know that during this month of July, this is something that you're going to have to deal with. Okay, now let's move on to the week of July 18th. Moving on to the week of July 18th. So on the 21st, we have Venus moving into Virgo. So Venus moves into the area of your chart that deals with your self-image. On the 22nd, the Sun moves into Leo. So as of the 22nd, we can tell all of our Leo friends happy birthday. That's on the 22nd. Now also, on the 22nd, we have an energy where you might find yourself overeating or just overindulging in something. So let's look at that. We have Venus in Virgo. So let's put this asterisk over here in Virgo. Venus in Virgo, and it's going to be in opposition to Jupiter in Pisces. And we know Jupiter wants to expand wherever it is placed. So you might find yourself at this time. Well, one thing I want to point out is this is not an aspect that is going to be very challenging. In fact, this aspect is so easy that it is going to make it a perfect environment for you to overindulge. Okay, so it might be a case where you want to just be around your partner too much. Okay, because look at where the asterisks are located. You have self-image and you have partnership. So it might be a case where you're walking around talking about yourself too much and you're putting your partner off, Or it might be a case where you just want to be in your partner's face 24/7, and they're kind of like, hey, don't you want to go and get a massage or something? So just watch out for that, because this is a day of overindulging. Okay, that is the energy of when Venus is in opposition to Jupiter. Okay, so just watch out for overindulging related to partnerships and related to your self image. Overindulging, you might find yourself just overdoing something, just doing something over the top related to your self image, and your partner might be looking at you like, really? Really? Okay, so just watch out for that. That's around the 22nd. Now let's move on to the next week, the week of July 25th. So on the 25th, we have another opposition with Pluto. The last opposition happened between the Sun and Pluto. This particular opposition is happening between Mercury and Pluto. So let's move this asterisk to represent Mercury. Mercury in Cancer is going to be in an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So around the 25th, you're going to have to think back to what were you dealing with 2 weeks ago. Because whatever you were dealing with 2 weeks ago related to these areas where the asterisks are located, this is something that's going to come up again. But the difference this time is that you will find yourself giving in to whatever you did not give into 2 weeks ago. So whatever you didn't give into around the 17th of the month, when the 25th comes around, you might find yourself giving in. You might be waving the white flag on that one. Okay. You might find yourself giving in and doing something that you normally don't do on a normal basis. Okay. And then, okay, on the 27th, I said Mercury moves into Leo. On the 28th, Jupiter moves into Aquarius. On the 29th, Mars moves into Virgo. Also on the 29th, you might find yourself overestimating your abilities. So let's see where this is happening for you, because it is involving Mars in Leo in opposition to Jupiter in Aquarius. So this is going to be a day where you overestimate your abilities. And one thing that's coming out is that you might want to work out by yourself, because it's something that you're doing behind the scenes. It's something that's happening where a lot of people are not around. And the universe is saying that it could very well affect your health. It can affect your health and your daily routine. So it could be a case where you're just at home, maybe you're drinking too much, and it might affect your health. You're doing something behind the scenes that could very well affect your health around the 29th. Okay, because you are going to be overestimating your abilities. So if you are working out and you're lifting weights, don't lift weights with no one around. Okay, this is just letting you know that around the 29th, you will be involved in something where you are overestimating your abilities, and it could affect your health. Okay. Um, Also, one thing that's coming up is that you might decide to participate in some type of ritual or spell that don't, you really might not be too confident about how it's going to come up. So you might be overestimating your abilities in completing something related to your spirituality. So just be careful around the 29th not to overestimate your abilities. Okay, so that's everything I have for you for the month of July. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched to this point, please like the video. Like the video, make some comments. Let me know if anything resonates with you, even if it's 2 months from now. Because one thing about astrology is that it is a look back science. Like, you have to look back and see what happened the last time I experienced this aspect. So you have to look back, or you might look back and say, you know what? When Mercury was in a trine to Jupiter, this is how I felt. This is what was going on with me. So it is perfectly normal for you to look back and then make comments 2 months later after this video. So I look forward to seeing your comments on the various videos that I'll be putting out. But also, if you would like a private reading, just visit my website, metaphysicalmoonlighters.com. Like this video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Everyone have a great month.